This is Bad Boys Pilipinas. Hello mga kalaro, Chief Bisdak Joel Parcon here. Welcome to another episode of Bad Boys Pilipinas. For this episode, I am going to give my thoughts about what happens after last week's huge win in the 2022 NBA Draft. I'll take a look at how that, as well as all of the other moves that Pistons GM Troy Weaver made since then, impacts the team, as well as what other moves they could still possibly make to further bolster the team. I just want to say that my thoughts will be coming from the position that we should be ready to compete for a spot in the play-in tournament. I've been saying this ever since I saw how well the team has developed these past couple of years. And I also think that vying for the play-in is the best thing to do in order to give our young core a realistic and achievable goal on which they can build. Before I begin, I'd just like to ask you guys a small favor and hit the subscribe button. It would really help this channel to get more subscribers. Also, stay until the end to see what route I think the Pistons should take for this offseason. Let's begin by taking a look at what our lineup now looks like after the draft and all of the moves. Heading into free agency season, the Pistons roster includes Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart, Killian Hayes, Kelly Olynyk, Saben Lee, Corey Joseph, Isaiah Livers, and two-way player Braxton Key. The team also picked up the team option for Hamidou Diallo, and rookie pickups Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren joined this team. Another rookie, Gabriel Procida, figures to be stashed in Europe, along with Balsa Koprivica. Also joining the team are the players Mr. Weaver traded for this past week. Kemba Walker, who is rumored to get bought out, Alec Burks, and Nerlens Noel, all, funnily enough, are from the New York Knicks. The team also extended a qualifying offer to Marvin Bagley III, making him a restricted free agent. This gives the team a total of 15 players already and one two-way contract player. Alas, the Luka Garza era with the Pistons seems to have ended, with them declining their option on his contract. But then again, drafting Duren as the team's project big might have been the deal breaker for this and made it inevitable. The question now is that lineup good enough to get a play-in slot? Maybe. I'm not too sure about it. Yes, the ice and fire duo of Cade and Ivy will be a menace for opposing backcourts. Killian's continued development as a facilitating defensive point guard will be the kind of off-the-bench energy that we need. And Bay's game will definitely be unleashed now that Grant has been traded away. And of course, the comebacking Hamidou Diallo will continue to take flight in the open court. And potentially, you have a three-headed monster of Bagley, Stewart, and Duren, and they have a great potential to be a force to be reckoned with down low. But I think there is still a little more space for us to add another vital cog to the team. A little under $13 million worth of space for a player who can definitely help get the team over that hump and into at least the play-in tournament. Right now, with all of the moves and contracts that the team took on from the Knicks, they actually have around $29.4 million left, according to sportsnot.com. This on top of their mid-level exception and biannual exception, which according to sportrack.com is $10.5 million and $4.1 million respectively. As far as I know, these actually can't be combined to sign one player, or can't be combined with the existing salary cap space. Although each of these mid-level exceptions can be broken down to sign several players. Truth be told, the win the Pistons had in the draft put the team in a bit of a pickle with regards to free agency. Whereas once it was clear that they were going after DeAndre Ayton to shore up their front line, the addition of Duren hampered the desire for the team to bid for the Phoenix big man's services. But then again, just like what I said in my Duren video, the link of which you will find somewhere, big men usually take a couple of years to develop. We don't actually know if Duren will be as defensively dominant as he was in college these next couple of years. I also stated in my video that Duren's offensive game is far, far from polished. Maybe the addition of DeAndre Ayton will provide the team with that solid big man while Duren develops. The other big name the team has been rumored to be going after is Miles Bridges. But at forward, we already have Saddiq Bey, and as well as Marvin Bagley III if we actually sign him to a contract. And if you really think about it, Bridges is like who Saddiq Bey will be in a year or two. Also, why add another wing to possibly hamper Saddiq's game when you just traded away the guy who did so in the previous year? Doesn't quite make sense. Personally, if the goal is to sign a free agent this summer, I hope the team still prioritizes making a play for Ayton. That is, if they want to sign a big name. It's Ayton for me over Bridges. While Stu becomes the energy big off the bench and Duren develops a more all-around game, Ayton can be the man in the slot for the team. It will be much easier to look at this if they find a way to trade Olynyk as well, as that could carve more playing time for the three of them and Bagley. Now, if hypothetically the team decides not to retain Bagley or not to match any contract offers for him, then a play for Bridges might be a better choice. They can slot him and Saddiq on the two forward positions, and they can switch from post to perimeter. How different is that from having Grant? Not much, in all honesty, but it adds a potent offensive weapon, at least from what he showed this past season, back into the void that Grant will have left. My only apprehension about this is the contract year syndrome, where a player plays his best season hoping to get a big offer in the offseason. We've seen this play out several times in the league, and in particular for the Pistons. I'm sure that we all remember the last time the Pistons had a ton of money and spent it on Ben Gordon and Charlie Villanueva, who, despite having stellar seasons 1 year prior, never really amounted to much during their time with Detroit. Now, the main problem, though, is that with the main cap space, the $29.4 million, they just miss out on being able to sign Ayton to the maximum contract he's eligible for, the first year of which is pegged at $30.5 million. I couldn't find the max contract Miles Bridges is eligible for, but it should be around the same amount. So I might be giving out these names when in fact the Pistons might not be able to sign them anyway. Except if the TMZ report that came out that Bridges was recently arrested for domestic violence is true, which could potentially hamper his value. Now, another thought to ponder on, a thought that I am most in support of, would be for the Pistons not to sign any big new flashy names this offseason. They bring back Bagley via restricted free agency, whether by just offering him a new contract or by matching any contract that he's given out there, and they hold on to the cap space that they currently have, the $29.4 million. The 2023 crop of free agents feature much bigger names that the team could go after once they complete a tour of duty with this young group, gutting it out to try and make the play-in. Maybe a big name veteran would see the beauty of what is being done in Detroit and decides to sign there to help bring the team over the hump and make a deep playoff run. Remember what Chris Paul did for Phoenix, right? Maybe the development that the young core goes through this year makes it so that they don't have to sign a big name veteran to make that run. Who knows? Like what I stated earlier, we are pretty much set in all of the positions. All we really need is for these kids that we've got right now to grow together and learn how to win together. While I am okay with bringing in a player who can definitely help to put the Pistons into the playoff conversation, it shouldn't be a definite obligation for the team. As has been shown in the last 2 years, the building not buying approach works. And where else can that imagery of a legacy being built from the ground up by blue-collar workers ring truer than in Detroit, where the going-to-work Pistons story still ring true in the arena? The Pistons' approach to free agency will definitely depend on what they do in the next couple of days. A lot of pieces are still moving, but I bet that Troy still has enough tricks up his sleeve to weave some more magic. See what I did there? I, for one, just hashtag trust in Troy. The NBA free agency begins tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. here in the Philippines. And I will definitely check in with you guys again next week to give you my thoughts about the first week of free agency and how our lineup looks by then. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and also consider subscribing to this channel. It has other videos focused on Philippine and international sports, as well as other shows and games. Once again, this has been Chief Bisdak Joel Parcon. Stay safe, everyone. Bye.
This is Bad Boys Pilipinas.